Hi there, welcome back to Gold Advanced C1, our online video classes. Now, before we go on, there's something that I am supposed to tell you. Now, next week, of course, is Easter week, okay, Semana Santa, and we'll be taking a short break from the video lessons, but that's no reason for you to stop practicing. I'll give you some things to practice over the holiday, and also perhaps point you towards the Pearson website. For example, you can get here at the front lots of details of extra activities to practice, okay? And also I'll give you some homework. And finally, I'll perhaps put up a couple of topics for us to discuss informally on Flipgrid. Okay, so far I've only had one response, but perhaps a couple more of you could get back to me. It'd be great. Okay, what's your excuses? Excuses, okay. So today we're going to look at maybe making excuses. Do you ever make excuses? I know very often I planned to do something but couldn't. Okay, so we're going to think of expressions that we can use to give reasons why we didn't do something or something didn't happen. Look at this. How would you finish this sentence? I know I was meant to call you last night, but... So maybe you forgot to call your friend, but you want to give an excuse. I know I was meant to call you last night, but I was so busy with work, I completely forgot. That's the honest way. Okay. Or, I know I was supposed to submit the report today, but... I was supposed to submit the report, but we haven't got the figures in from our London office, for example. Or, I know I was due to start my shift, my work period, at 4 p.m, but I had to take my child to the doctor's or something. Okay, so was meant to, was supposed to, was due to. These expressions talk about when we have interrupted events or unfulfilled intentions. It's a similar idea, future in the past. Okay, so let's look on page 97. Okay, page 97. Exercise 1. We have different phrases in the box which can be used to replace underlined phrases in the sentences. We may need to make some other changes. Look at the expressions, think about them. So, I was about to, or I was thinking of. We often use that when we're at the point of doing something, but it's interrupted. You know, I was about to call you. Huh. Somebody rings you, say, "Oh, I was about to call you, but you rang first." Or, "Oh, I was thinking of getting John a present, but you got it instead." Okay, fine. Okay. We also have perhaps ones where it's a bit more of an obligation, maybe, or an intention. So we've got it was due to, was meant to, or even was supposed to. Okay. There, the idea is that something was an event that was going to happen, or an obligation, but it was unfulfilled for whatever reason. So, look at the 6 sentences and complete the sentences with one of the expressions from the box. Make any changes. Okay, pause the video and then we'll come back and check. Okay, so what about number 1? I was going to call you, but then I realised I'd forgotten your number. I'm sure. Okay, yeah, so probably the best option there was I was about to call you. Yeah, or I was thinking of calling you. Okay, I was about to call you. What about number 2? We weren't supposed to know what the scientists were trying to find out. It would have ruined the experiment. Okay. We weren't supposed to. We weren't meant to. Okay. Okay, we weren't meant to know what the scientists were trying to find out. Number 3, I was told the train would be leaving at 10:30. I was told that the train was due to leave, due to leave at 10:30, but it was over half an hour late. Number 4, we were going to invite Clara, but she's already seen the film. Okay, so probably the best option was we were thinking of inviting. Okay, so verb change again, we were thinking of inviting. Remember, after preposition ing. Number 5, I had no idea that she was about to make such a terrible mistake. Okay, was about to make. And number 6, he didn't know it at the time, but he was about to become world famous. I'm not sure that one's so clear, but there you go, yeah. He was about to become. Right. Look at the examples and answer the questions, okay? Ella was to have got married last June. Did Ella get married last June? No. Okay, was to plus infinitive. Okay, they were to have finished the report by Tuesday. Does this mean the same as they didn't finish the report? Yes. Okay, so we've got were plus the infinitive there, meaning the action didn't happen. The institute was to close within the year. Yes. Okay. Number 4, that's right, the institute was to close within the year is the same as the institute would close within the year. 3,000 language students were to take part in the study. Did people expect that 3,000 language students would take part in the study? Yes. Okay, so there we have the way we can also use were to plus the verb to talk about the future in the past. Okay, so have a look at part 3. Think about the ideas that we've got there and see if you can complete the sentence using were to or was to and the correct form of the verb in brackets. Okay, stop there. Pause. Okay, alright, well before we check the answers, I'd like you to think again about those 4 sentences. Okay, notice that we use were or was to, and then the perfect infinitive have got married, have finished, to say something didn't happen. Okay, they didn't finish the report. Okay, was plus just the infinitive, no have, was to close, means that the event did happen. Okay, so very subtle meaning. Okay, so I'd like you to stop the video again, and now, first you used your instinct, now check that against what I've told you. Okay, remember, it didn't happen, we're going to say were or was, to have past participle. It did happen later, were to plus the verb. Stop and we'll check. Okay, so what about the first one? The flight was cancelled, so it didn't happen. They were to have left. Okay, were to have left. Okay, she became a great writer, so number 2, she was to go on to produce some of the greatest writing of her generation. Number 3, the study of babies' abilities to recognise languages was to have been published in a major scientific journal, but the authors decided to make it available online. Yeah, it was to have been published. Okay, got a passive there. was to have been published. Number 4. Okay. Again, another passive. Employees were to be informed about the decision by letter, but they haven't heard. They've heard nothing yet. Okay. It's still possible it will happen. Okay, so that's why we use the infinitive. Were to be informed. Number 5. We were to sign the contract this afternoon, but there's been a delay, but we will sign it eventually, okay? It's not something that's completely terminated. The psychologist was to have become a member of the major neuroimaging project, but she decided, no, I'm going to stay here in Europe, okay? So she had this possibility in the future, but she decided no, it wasn't going to happen. Okay, all clear about that? Hope so. Okay, any problems, get in touch. That's what I'm here for. Okay, so if we look at part 4, here we have some transformations. Okay, now I think the obvious thing here to do is to give you lots of homework, okay, because you've got a whole week and a bit. So we're going to stop there, really. Exercise 4 is some transformations. So now make sure you get your pencil and be ready. Here is your homework for next week. 1. Page 97, exercise 4. Complete the second sentence. In other words, the transformations. 2. 99. Okay, which is a review of this unit. 100 and 101, which is a full use of English, which tests some of the language that we've looked at in the last 3 units, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, and just for fun as well, I'm not going to do it in classes, so look at this one. Okay, here we got it. Read part of an email from a friend who's planning to come and live in your country. Of course, I'd really need to learn the language, says your friend. I know you've been learning English for years. I'm sure that's true. So you've had loads of experience. Are there any tricks of the trade, good ideas, that might help me pick up your language a bit more quickly? Okay. So, reply to the email message offering your friend some advice. Okay. Write your email in 220 to 260 words. Okay. Remember, adopt the right vowel. It's going to be informal. Okay. Read it through. Make sure you organise it into paragraphs and send it to me. And I'll have a look at it and check it. If you could send it as a Word document, that way it's easier for me to check. I've got no ink left and nowhere to buy it. Okay. So, have a good break for Easter. Keep your eye on Flipgrid in case I ask you some questions. In fact, I might ask you another one later on. We've asked so far about forgetfulness, learning experiences. Perhaps we can think about when your plans for something changed because something unexpected happened. I mean, like now, for example. We were to have had more classes. We were to have started preparing for the exam even more, but then we had this lockdown situation. So, I mean, I'll ask you a question and you can think and tell me and describe a little situation where your plans changed. Okay, that'll be on Flipgrid for you. So take care, have a very good Easter. Get in touch if you need to, and we'll see you the Tuesday after Easter. I can't remember the date exactly, but I think it's something like the 11th or something. I should know, but I can't remember. Okay, bye-bye. See you soon.